Episode 5. um, where do I even begin? I have been in a haze. I have been in a dreamlike state because I just finished my book. When you finish a book, I mean, there's really no other feeling like it, especially if you loved the book. You almost have to have withdrawals from it. I didn't tell you guys about this at all, so you're really just getting new context right now, but I've been reading this gay-ass World War I book. I didn't know it was going to be as gay as it ended up being. Of course, I thought there was going to be some alluding to homosexual behavior, maybe the hand on the hip. You know what I mean? The lengthy stare in the trench, as everyone has done. This was smut. This book was like half the most brutal depiction of war I've ever experienced in my life. I'm talking full charge into no man's land. Character's best friend's brain splattered across his face. He's crawling in the mud. Horse manure blood. Gasping for air during the poison gas strikes. And then he would go back to the barracks and have the most aggressive gay hookup you've ever read in your entire life. And I was like, this is 1917. Are they able to just kind of do this? In this world, yes. And baby, it's a world I want to live in. I thought I finished the book and I said I should have been there. I should have been in the trenches with my boys. I mean, the camaraderie was special because it was up to them to keep each other alive. You don't understand. World War I, there was not a lot of order. The captains were sending them to their death. So if you wanted to hook up with someone later that night, you need to make sure they got out of the foxhole. You know what I mean? You weren't having oral if you didn't have your bayonet at the ready. You had to be ready to kill. You had to be ready to murder. Those boys didn't deserve that. Thinking about it often, those boys didn't deserve that. Horrible conditions, trench foot, muddied trenches. A lot of the time, like I said, the poison air, they'd try to get poison air to their opponent, the use of poison air. And they didn't do the lick your finger and see where the wind was going, so it would blow back in their face. So you just had to kind of wet a rag and put it over your face and keep fighting. And they did that for years. And then I really had a thought about a lot of my complaints and a lot of the things that I find are overwhelming in my own life that I feel like I can't overcome, that are overbearing. And it's things like my apartment is messy. It's things like my mom won't pick up my calls. It's things like I can't get myself to do 100 push-ups a day. So it really puts things in perspectives. I don't know if I could fight. I don't know if I could live up to the gallantry of the 1917 army. And a lot of them were 16, 17 years old. And I'm obviously a couple years older than that. 19, 20 years old. But I couldn't do it like they did. So I've been telling everyone that has an ear about the gayness in the trenches. And it's just been a huge thing for me. The book is actually this book. I didn't know it was gay, even though there was a shirtless man on the cover of it. Who would have guessed? And now I'm looking for my next book, my next story to bite into, to make a feast of, nibble on. And my sister is giving me good options, but hers just don't have the sultriness that I'm now used to. I've got a taste in my mouth. I've got a taste for blood and I need another one. So if you have a book recommendation that describes the brutalities of humanity, but also has absolutely insane explicit scenes for no reason, let me know. I don't even know if this book was historically accurate, but I'm buzzing, babes. I'm absolutely buzzing. Yeah. And then I did make a video about this, but speaking of period pieces, I am just absolutely excited about the announcement of Sofia Coppola's new period piece movie with Kirsten Dunst. I mean, I'm bewitched by the thought of it. I need this to happen, and I need it to happen ASAP. I'm a huge fan of Marie Antoinette. The person and the movie, love her. I loved what she was stood for. In the face of poverty, she said, I'm going to be rich. In the face of depression and kind of capitalism at that time, she said, I'm just going to throw a party. And she was only like 19. So it's like when my parents were going through a divorce and it was hard times at home, I said, I'm going to throw a party about it. It's kind of just like a teenager thing. So I really don't think we can hold her accountable for that. But I'm really excited for her to do another piece about a woman. I know it's going to be a woman wronged. There's so many in history for her to choose from, but I know it's going to be a woman that was wronged bad. The soundtrack's going to be amazing. The costume design is going to be incredible. And it's going to be really, really special. So I'm really excited about that. What else has been going on? I've been going on morning walks, like pensive walks. Just kind of thinking to myself. It's funny. I feel like I could probably solve if I had the power, I could solve probably a lot of issues that our country faces on the morning walk. But I'm obviously just not elected in that position. And I feel like I can't really do the whole politician route because of my digital footprint. So that's kind of out of the question. We're just going to have to kind of sit in the situation we've put ourselves in. What else has been going on? Oh, I finished my screenplay. Yeah, I'm that guy at the party now. It's like I ask 3 questions and then I bring up the screenplay. Finished that. It's a slasher comedy in Michigan. Beloved characters. I don't want to say it's similar to the Iliad, but I think that it's a hero that goes on a journey. I think that it's a text that will shape a generation. I think that it's a story that will capture the hearts and minds of the world. So if you are a movie producer or a billionaire, comment under the video. We'd love to get this made. What else has been going on? I'm doing stand-up soon. I'm building out a show, so I'm working on that. I don't want to get in that. But yeah, so lots going on. I'm feeling just absolutely riveted by my own life. Even though I've had a couple of failures, I feel like that I remain positive, mostly because of the book, because it can't be that bad. You know what I mean? My ears aren't ringing from an explosion every morning, so I feel like it's pretty good. I also recently escaped the New York weather, and I went to Miami with my boyfriend Thomas, and we stayed in an amazing hotel. And babes, I don't know. I really love the idea of Florida conceptually, but I don't know if I could live it viscerally. I feel like the beach was nice, architecture beautiful, there was nightlife, but I just don't know. Honestly, I think it's a little bit masochistic, but I need the seasons. I need to punish myself. I need like a coldness, a sadness, a darkness annually. Like I'm looking around at all these people that live in Miami, that live in Florida, and I go, you just get this all the time? I'm on a path and they're jogging by in their short shorts or they're rollerblading, which also a whole nother thing. I guess straight men can rollerblade there without persecution. That's a huge thing. They're biking, they're swimming, they're active. It's summer all the time. And I just don't know if I deserve that. I don't know if that's in the cards for me. The drinks are a little bit cheaper. The food's a little bit cheaper. It's like you can kind of smell that the income tax is lower. And I get it. Like on paper, it's like Florida is like a place you can go to be truly who you are in terms of like financial conservatism. But it's just not for me. And I really enjoyed it, but I just knew I couldn't stay there for long. Like I felt a clock ticking the entire time I was there. Like I was about to expire. And I was only there for 3 days. But it was really nice. The hotel I stayed at gave me the room for free, which I've never experienced in my entire life. I got like a deal and I just got to lounge by the pool, read my gay book, walk in the sand. it felt like very Big Little Lies. Like it felt like I should have a shawl on. Like I'd go for a walk down the beach and just kind of look out to the ocean, look out to the horizon, and think about my life, which was very amazing for me. I needed that. I've never been out in Miami, so I texted my sister who's been a couple times. I'm like, where do people go out? And she was like, people go out in Brickell. And I was like, okay, well then we got to try to go out in Brickell. Like, let's see, like, let's have some fun. Like, let's figure it out. So we call an Uber to Brickell. It's like 20 minutes away from South Beach. And we get in the Uber, instantly connect with the Uber driver. We love her. Why do I feel like I'm going to cry? This Uber driver and I just like connect, like right off the bat. Like there is banter, there's a familiarity, there's an understanding. And we're going over the bridge, and the Billie Eilish concert gets out right as we get to the other side of the bridge, and it jumps up to an hour. So we are in bumper to bumper traffic, my boyfriend and I, and we are just speaking with this Uber driver about love, life, and loss. And then kind of after the loss part, we get into something even darker than death, which was their love for K-pop. And I love K-pop. I respect K-pop. I respect that they're having a moment right now. They are like invading Western culture. They are eating every act up. They are hard workers. They've got the choreography. They've got the songwriting. They've got the skills, the vocals. They've got the branding. They've got the translations. They've got the merch. They're on it. Like, I respect it. But 30 minutes is a long time. You know what I mean? It's a big increment. And when you don't know their story like the one person does, you can get lost in it. So we got really into K-pop on the Uber drive over, and I forgot which act's name it was, but I now know their entire backstory. And don't get me wrong, I've done my research at home. It wasn't a fleeting thought. I didn't take it for granted. I mean, I went home and I did some digging. I'm still not on the wave of listening it on my lonesome. Maybe I'm a step closer to it. But I did get a crash course that I didn't necessarily ask for. And then once we finally got to our destination, we went to the club that was recommended to me. We walk right up and she goes, $30. I was like, okay. I feel like I go out in New York all the time, and I have very rarely ever paid a cover in like the 7 years I've lived here. So I'm like, okay, we're in Miami. We already wasted an hour in the Uber driver. We're just going to do it. We're going to do it. We've committed to this. The traffic's bad. Like, we can't Uber home. I don't know any other places around us. So we go in to this place. It's called Redacted. I'm not going to drop the name. And what we walk into was shocking. Men in short sleeve button-ups, shorts, their pink knees on the dance floor, calves out. Someone was in an athletic quarter zip, lighting too bright, bathroom on either end, bathrooms on either end of the dance floor, open door. It smelled of a urinal cake. Ratio was off. When I think Miami, I think beautiful women. I think beautiful, successful women. It's your city. The weather's on your side. You're tan. The women are just like, you're like at the pinnacle of what womanhood is, which is just like, you're like an amazing person. No women were there. And I'm gay, so I didn't even want them there. I wanted them there for the comfort, for like the natural order of things. I wanted them dancing on tables. I wanted to see women having fun, succeeding, having a good time, doing what they want. It was men prowling. They were like scanning the room for anything that was moving. Like, I felt like I was becoming prey. They were like, had thermal vision. They were like a dog that like nuzzles their nose at a dead carcass to see if it'll move. Like, I instantly walked in, horrendous vibes, bad drink, no alcohol in it. We tried to like numb our minds from like what was going on around us. It didn't work. So we literally finished our drink and walked right out. And then we kind of just like wandered around Brickell. We never really ended up recovering, and we ended up just Ubering home a little bit disappointed. So if you're listening and you're from Miami, please let me know if you can take me out to a better night in Miami. Like, I know it's possible. I know it's there. I just don't think that it was in our cards that night. And we woke up the next day and we went to the beach and everything was fine and we had a good time. But the fart den we were locked in for 45 minutes was similar to a saw trap, and I never want to experience that again. It was very scary. But I'm up for a second chance at a Miami nightlife, and I will have it. I'm after it, and I'm going to come back mad as hell. Current eventally, we have a lot going on. We have the looming promise of Halloween. I have no idea what I'm going to be. My friend offered for me to be Jojo Siwa's current boyfriend, and for my boyfriend Thomas to be her ex-girlfriend that she left for the guy and became not lesbian for, which I think is like an interesting concept. But then you have to ask yourself, am I in my late 20s? Should I be cosplaying as a Jojo Siwa storyline? It's something to think about. I mean, we're the great philosophers of Greece dressing up as a side ponytail 22-year-old. At my age, probably not. So I'm going to have to toy with that in my mind. Government shutdown is continuing. It might be the longest one ever. At this point, yeah, it makes sense. Anything can really happen at this point. Precedent, like, I miss precedent. I miss like, oh, this has never happened. Like, that's numb to me now. I just saw my friend the other night at a dinner, and she was like, oh my gosh, it's so funny because the last time we went to this restaurant together was the day of the insurrection. And I was like, the insurrection? I was like, I remember that day I thought to myself, everything's going to be different. Turns out it kind of just like wasn't that big of a deal. Love that. So that kind of like is like the vibe now in the second term of Trump. Like, longest government shutdown ever, I guess, like, sure. What else has been going on? Something that I also think is really sad is Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban breaking up. I'm obviously a Kidman fan. I'm a kiddie. That's what we call ourselves. I just thought of that right now. And as a kiddie, you kind of have to go with her because she's an ever-changing person. Nicole Kidman really isn't a person. It's more of a concept. It's an evolving piece of art. It's performance art. Whether that's her hairstyle, which, let's clock the post-divorce bangs, or it's a new character or another like strong independent woman she plays that's sexually active. You just kind of got to go with the flow with her. Whether her accent changes or if she's Australian or American, we don't know. You got to go with it. And I was really sad to find out that they were breaking up because they were together for so long. And I also think it's really sad for salons that do couple discounts, because I feel like that they really mirrored each other haircuttily, and I think it's sad for both of them to lose each other's muses, because I feel like they really navigated beauty and the way they really presented themselves to the world together. So I'm obviously nervous for this new era for her to be single, but I feel like she's going to come back more powerful. Not even like a phoenix, because she was never burnt to ashes, but it's going to be a new era. And I'm kind of scared to see what happens next. I saw a headline that said that Keith Urban couldn't keep up with her bottomless need for sexual attention, which, I mean, is just an ideal thought for who she is. Donald Trump was upset that he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize, and he also was upset about an unflattering photo of him in Time magazine, which I hate to say is relatable. Like, I also hate almost every photo of me, despite me putting my face in front of a camera all the time to complain and rant. And I honestly think it's very human of him. I also am really freaked out by Trump, like, reflecting on if he's getting into heaven like all the time, which I actually find very endearing. I'm sorry. Like, obviously I don't agree with anything he says and I think he's a horrible person, but like being like, I hate this photo of me and I don't think I'm going to be into heaven. Like, those are thoughts I have all the time. So I hate to like relate to him. Also, I feel like maybe he's dealing with his mortality in a way where he sees a photo of himself and he has to contemplate his own image and who he is as a person, while also feeling like he's weighing his legacy and what will happen after death, which I think is a beautiful thing for anyone to do. So he is like, I just picture him like kind of like looking out the window of Air Force One and just kind of like imagining death and what will be of him after he's gone, which I never like kind of ever pictured him doing beforehand, but I kind of love that he's like creating this narrative and contemplating it. And the fact that he doesn't think he's going is so uncharacteristically surprising. Like, you would think he would say, oh, I'm absolutely going to be in heaven. Like, God loves me. Oh, I'm going to be there. Like, I'm going to have a Trump hotel in heaven. Like, they have a piece for me waiting. Like, you think he would say that. But the fact that he's like looking off in the distance and going, I don't think I'm going to go. Like, I hate to say it. Like, it like kind of deepens his character. And I would just love to sit down with him and just like kind of dig around in that mind. I completely agree he's not going, but I wonder what he's thinking and like why that is. Similarly, I've been having thoughts of my own death. I think that's natural when the weather turns, because the coldness feels like the cold soil you'll be buried in. But I don't think that I'm dying soon. I have this feeling that I'm going to know when it's coming, and I don't think it's soon. Like, it's just not my time right now. I think I've got more to do. Like, I'm definitely going to make it to the next episode. And I know that for a fact. Like, sometimes I know it so much that I don't even look up from my phone when I'm crossing the street. Like, it's just like, not my time, babe. The car will stop. So I'm going to reflect more on that. And I think I'll have more to say on that next episode, but I'm going to leave it here. Like, at this point for now, like, I'm going to leave it there for now and I'll check back in. But, my assignment for you is to reflect on your legacy, your life, and what, really like how you view your demise. So let me know how you feel about that and I'll do the same. But, so much fun. I love this episode. I love talking about World War I. I love talking about the historical accuracy of my smut book and kind of my trip to Miami. So I'll catch you next time. And obviously, Bezos, I love you so much. See you next week, babes.